Chapter 4 of the Book of Boba Fett is titled The Gathering Storm, and it is very much a mixed bag. I do think the pros outweigh the cons for this episode, but there were some questionable choices, some weird choices, but some awesome foreshadowing. We start off in a flashback. Now that Boba is no longer with the Tuskens, he's moving forward with his life, with the first step being getting his ship back. And right off the bat, yes, I know that people are going to get upset that Boba calls it his fire spray gunship as opposed to the Slave One, but the Slave One is a fire spray gunship. That's the model that it is. If you're not willing to look past that, then I don't know what else to tell you. But anyway, Boba starts staking out Jabba's palace in hopes of finding the best time to sneak in and retrieve his ship. But the amount of guards he would have to fight through is making it difficult, so he chooses to try again another night. As he leaves Jabba's palace, we get a really cool tie-in. As the night goes on, flares start to shoot up into the sky, tying us directly into Fennec Shan's first appearance in Season 1 of The Mandalorian, where Boba finds Fennec left for dead. I was always curious as to how Boba mended her wound, but I was definitely not expecting Boba to take her to a mod shop and have them fix her up. It was a very weird choice, but I'm fine with it. It's a quick scene and it passes by. After coming to, Fennec starts asking all sorts of questions about what he did to her and what happened. Boba explains that he saved her and now she owes him. He wants her to help him get his ship back, and in return, she can go free. They plan their break-in late in the night and come across two droids in the kitchen, bringing us another cameo. EV-9D9, the droid from Return of the Jedi that put R2 and 3PO into the service of Jabba the Hutt. Boba and Fennec break into the kitchen and take out both 9D9 and a new knife droid, which I found comically playing homage to the great General Grievous. I absolutely loved that. But then Boba has to chase this LEP droid that walks in. The scene felt very unnecessary, but in reality, if you were sneaking around and someone saw you, you'd have to handle it, so I let that part slide. But Boba and Fennec make it to the fire spray just in time for an alarm to be triggered, and in a massive shootout scene, they are able to blast open the gates of the palace and escape with Boba's ship. I thought this scene was really cool, and for some reason it gave me strong Shadow of the Empire vibes. I really don't know why. I guess it was just the way everything was shot, from shooting out the gate to getting into the ship, but I just really enjoyed it. I really thought it elevated the scene for me. Immediately after, Boba decides he has some debts to settle, but offers to drop Fennec off wherever she'd like. She has done her part, and Boba now has his ship back. But Fennec decides that she wants to stick around for the ride. Boba makes his way to find the entire biker gang that killed the Tuskens and doesn't even give them a fighting chance, taking them all out. And I was all for it. But the next part made absolutely no sense to me. Boba's next step is to find his armor, so he flies to the pit of Carcoon? This scene was just so confusing. Boba says his armor has to be down there somewhere since that's where he was, but he clearly crawled out with it on, and was even woken up while the Jawas were taking the armor off of him. Maybe getting knocked unconscious by them caused him to forget about that part, but I just felt that it was really weird. Plus, having him shove the viewport of his ship into the opening of the Sarlacc pit completely lost me. We knew what was going to happen if he did that, but sure enough, he's grabbed again and the Sarlacc starts dragging down the ship. Thankfully, Fennec's quick thinking kicks in and she releases a seismic charge which kills the Sarlacc. While he obviously doesn't find his armor, he makes camp just outside of the now dead Sarlacc pit and makes the proposal to Fennec that he wants her to join him as he creates his own family by taking out Bib Fortuna and taking the throne. We then jump back to present time where I truly believe the fun is about to begin. Boba comes out of the bacta tank to learn that he has made a full recovery. He is back at 100%. The mayor is still nowhere to be seen, so Boba heads into town. He makes his way to the sanctuary where another confusing scene happens. Black Chrysanthemum is having a drink and getting really angry with a group of Trandoshans who seem to be having a great night of gambling. Out of nowhere, Chrysanthemum stands and starts throwing them around the room. Garsa Flip steps in an attempt to calm Chrysanthemum before he does what Wookiees do best and dismember the Trandoshan. She says that she understands that he used to be a great gladiator and that thousands used to cheer his name, but that that time has passed and he no longer has to deal with that. She also says that if he lets the Trandoshan go, she will clear his entire tab to the sanctuary. But instead, Chrysanthemum chooses to rip off one of the arms of the Trandoshan and then make his leave. After seeing all of this happen, Boba walks out after him and confronts Chrysanthemum, asking if he wants a job. And without hesitation, Chrysanthemum accepts, as the next scene gives us one we've been waiting for. Boba sits with the three major families of Mos Espa, explaining to them that he wants all of them to join forces against the Pikes, who are ruining Tatooine with their spice trade. The families all explain that they're making good money off of the spice, and that Boba is the only one who really has a problem with them. Boba says that in that case, he only asks that the families remain neutral should the Pikes approach them about taking on Boba. They all agree to the terms, but Boba, and especially us as the viewers, know that they will betray him at the drop of a hat. Fennec knows this too, and she also knows that they're about to start a big war and decides that they need more muscle. Boba says he has plenty of credits lying around, which Fennec explains can buy muscle, and as she says that, Mando's theme starts playing in the background, ending the episode. From the ending, I guess we can expect to see the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, making a return to help Boba in his fight against the Pikes. I'll be honest, when she mentioned getting more muscle, I was expecting to start seeing some more classic bounty hunters return. Mando wasn't even on my mind, but I think it would be so cool to see him show up in the last 3 episodes. Overall, the episode was alright, certainly not my favorite, but the story is still moving forward. I know a lot of people are upset by how slow the show is moving, but you have to understand that there's only 7 episodes, and if we go straight into the war within the first few episodes, then there's no plot to move forward with. Now that everything has been set up, I can definitely see these last 3 episodes being the action-packed John Wick-style Star Wars show that people have been asking for. But that's everything I have to say about The Gathering Storm. But what were your thoughts? Are you ready to finally see some big action sequences? How did you feel about Boba's interaction with the Sarlacc? And do you think we'll see anyone else show up to help Boba aside from the Mandalorian? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And remember, the Force will be with you. Always.